You've tamed the voices in your head. You've put your courage to the test.
Hi
Laid all
everyone, and
your
welcome
doubts
from your
to
Intuition Queen
rest.
to a new episode of Intuitive Queens podcast. And I have to tell you, this is the last episode of the season because it's been about 6 months, and I'm going to be taking a break and recharge and create something new. But don't worry about it. I'll see you in a few months. I'm not sure yet when I will restart the podcast, but you will be the first one to know. And if you want to sign up to my newsletter, so you can always be updated about what I'm doing, new offers, when the podcast is going to start again, who are going to be the guests of the new seasons, and things like that, you can just sign up in the link in the show notes. With this episode, I am completing the series about color, and today I'm going to be talking about the color gold. Gold in color therapy talks about the energies of completion, of abundance, of a balance between masculine and feminine energies, of a balance of yourself and your nervous system, of unity. It's basically a color that tells you that it's all okay. Like, you've done a lot of work and you now come to a place where you are self-aware and everything around you reflects what's going on inside of you. Of course, if you're not in alignment, this is not what the color will be saying to you. There will be the opposite energies playing out for you. But let's dig into this. When you have gold in your chart, I always say you need to consider yourself lucky, because this is such a beautiful, beautiful energy to have. And it doesn't matter in which position of your color chart you have it. It's an energy that it's going to help you to align yourself to balance, to unity, to do work in order for you to release all the things that you no longer need. So this is going to be an energy that will force you at some point in your life, not necessarily at the beginning, but at some point in your life, this energy is kind of going to put you towards your path, and it's going to ask you to shine your light, to be bright, to shine. Like, gold is a shining color and it's an abundant color. So you are likely to be an abundant person, generally, to be surrounded by abundant energies. But obviously, it depends on what's going on with you and if you're in sync with the energies, or if you're out of sync with those energies. If you have gold in your chart, it means you come to a point of completion. So often when I see this color in the life mission, it's because the person has to go through some sort of inner work, challenges, has to come to a point where they become extremely self-aware of themselves. So there is a lot of work to be done if you have gold in your life missions, because this energy is going to require you to really release all the things that you no longer need, even more than other colors, because this is the color that brings you to a balanced state in spirit, mind, body, and your everything. It's the color connected to everything. So this color is really going to ask you, whichever part of your chart you have it, to get into this kind of alignment. It's it's kind of like the end point, although it's not really. But if you are attuned with this energy, it means that you have done personal work, you've done spiritual work, you are spiritually and self-aware of yourself, and all of the work that you've been doing have created harmony in your life, in your business, in your career, in your professional life, in your personal life. So this is such a beautiful energy to have. And this is the color of abundance. If you think about the actual gold and how valuable that is, you can just imagine. And it's such a beautiful energy to have. Chinese surround themselves, feng shui wants you to have around you gold elements because they attract more abundance. So something to keep in mind. I love feng shui, but it's not something I want to get into now because I already am passionate about so many things. But if you know a little bit about it, you will know also the importance that feng shui has on gold elements. So you can wear it, you can surround yourself with it. It's the energy of abundance, it's the energy of unity, it's the energy of harmony, it's the energy of balance. When we are balanced with our masculine and feminine energy, we are completely in alignment because we are able to use the right energy at the right time. You probably heard me talking about the importance of balancing up those energies within us. I often talk to my clients about the importance of getting back to the feminine energy to really connect, because unfortunately a lot of women have had to learn to stay a lot in their masculine energy, and that's not something natural for us to do. We need to use it, we need to know how to use it, but we are not supposed to always stay in a masculine energy. And so is the opposite. Men are not supposed to stay too much in their feminine energies. And depend on how you identify and which one is your predominant energy, you're not supposed to stay too much in either or the other. We are supposed to be able to use them accordingly. So, but this is something that we all struggle. We all have a tendency to stay more in one energy rather than the other. And with the clients that I work with, which are all female entrepreneurs, they tend to stay a lot in their masculine energy, way more than they're supposed to do. And that's when the overwhelm, burnout, tiredness comes through, confusion, because they're not in balance. So this energy, if you have it in your chart, it's probably going to push you to learn to understand what it means to stay in your feminine energy, what it means to stay in your masculine energy, and why you're staying too much in one energy rather than the other. Which are the reasons why? What are the wounds that you need to heal in order for you to get to a balanced state, right? Of course, you can have gold in your chart, but be completely disconnected from this energy. For example, you will stay too much in the energy that you're not supposed to. You might not be connected to your intuition at all. You might have disharmony around you. You might be in you are going to be, not you might be, you are going to be in disharmony within yourself. So maybe, you know, you are criticizing yourself. There is something with your body that is going on that is making you feel out of sync, out of harmony. So there is a complete disconnection between your mind, spirit, and soul. And this color will probably push you to get to a point where you can get connected. Obviously, if this is something that some work that you want to do, inner work is required here, because you need a lot of self-awareness to get to a point where you're balanced and in harmony. If you have gold in your chart, you're here to help people in a big or in a small way. This is just the energy of service. When you're balanced, when you know who you are, when you have self-awareness of yourself, you also understand that you're here to help others. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to create a business where you help others, but it can mean that around your community, your group of friends, you are the person that always help others in meaningful ways, in ways that the people around you can understand and can actually appreciate. And they know that when you do it with your whole heart, and you do it because you know it's going to really help them. It's not that I help you because I want something back, or I help you because I have to. It's the actual understanding that someone needs help, and you're gonna give to this person whatever the thing that this person really needs, and not the thing that you think this person needs. Now, if you have gold in your energy field, so I explained to you in the previous episodes, but I'm going to explain to you again now. Or when I do a color reading, what happens is that I will tell you what are your colors, which are based on your date of birth, and there are 4 positions that you have different colors on, and I will explain to you what the colors mean and also what I feel from you when I tune into each single energy, so each single color. What also can happen is that sometimes, aside from the colors and what I feel from tuning into the energy of your colors, I will also see images or colors or energies popping up in your field. And this is because there is something that your soul wants you to do. There's something that you need to work on, release, something that is your energetic field, because it needs to be removed from there. It needs to be seen, it needs to be worked on and released, because that's how you're gonna step up. That's what it means to do a next step. If you're leveling up in your business, if you're leveling up in your life, if you have to make a life change decision, maybe if you're feeling stuck for whatever reason, there is something in your energy field, there is a message that you need to receive in order for you to release that. So if energy pops up in your energy field, this is often when people are I find this when people are starting their spiritual practice, and it's that moment where maybe they have understood that, I don't know, let's say meditation or journaling or whatever else that you do, I don't know, tapping, reading cards, whatever it is, your spiritual practice, that thing that makes you feel good. It might be praying to your God. It pops up in the energy field of people that they say they do it, but they don't do it that often. So there is a disconnection there. They might do it sometimes, but not necessarily all the times. And often this is because they don't think that having a spiritual practice can actually be helpful, but it is more of a waste of time. It is more of things that you do, a thing that you do when you have some spare time, rather than you make time for it. If you're going through a transformational period, then you're necessarily in need of some sort of grounding practice. And this is what the gold is going to ask you about, because you need discipline to make sure you can ground yourself and you can say your power, that you can start the day or go to bed in a certain way. This is necessary in order for you to get to that spiritual awareness and personal awareness that I was talking to you about at the beginning. In order for you to get to that balanced state, there is something that you need to do. So oftentimes it's spiritual practice, because it helps us to calm us down, to change our perspective, and to start the day in a different way. So see how this applies to you. But this is the reason why, one of the reasons why gold can pop up in your energy field during the color reading. The other reason why gold is going to pop up in your energy field is normally when people are completely disconnected from their intuition. They're not able to trust themselves. They're not able to follow their messages. And this is normally from people that are very analytical, and they think that they can only move through using their mind, making logical decisions. And it can happen that either they have learned this is the way, and therefore there's going to be a little bit of a challenge and resistance in learning to trust and understand that your intuition is powerful and the messages that you are receiving are actually way better than your logic. Or they completely dismiss and they completely reject all the theory about, all the talk about intuition, connection, and all of that. So this can happen often. It's either with people that maybe they want to connect to their intuition, but they're too afraid because maybe when they were younger, they have been told that this is foolish and your mind is the logical. So I am thinking sometimes I do work with clients that come from this kind of background. So I'm thinking, if you have very analytical and logical parents, if you have parents that maybe worked in the army, or those kind of disciplines where the mind is always taking over. Everything needs to be explained with proof. And if you're a child that goes against that, they might make you feel bad about it. They might tell you it's wrong. They might tell you that's not how you live your life. That's silly, and all of that. So if you've lived in this kind of situation, even if you grow up and you understand that intuition is powerful and you might feel it, you will still struggle to trust it. You will still struggle to follow it, because you won't feel safe to do it, because you will still have all the limitations put upon yourself from your parents, or society, or maybe your job, or whatever that could be for you. And therefore there's going to be such a big and fear and resistance within you to connect to yourself, because you have been taught something different, and maybe you got scared. And if you don't feel safe to trust yourself, that's where you're not going to be able to connect, and you're going to still continue with your mind. But if your intuition is starting to kind of shout at you and try to come out, this is your soul starting to tell you, okay, you need to release all of those limitations, and you need to start to slowly connect to yourself. So this is the reason why gold will pop in your energy field. This also is connected to situations where being in your feminine energy, it's seen as weak. So again, either you grew up with a certain kind of parents and certain beliefs, or maybe you have had to stay in your feminine, in masculine energy a lot because of work, and you no longer know how to connect to your feminine energy. You no longer feel that's necessary, and you no longer feel that's something you can do. In this case, feminine energy is seen as weak, and therefore there is a complete rejection of you as a person, because that you are a woman or not, that you have more feminine energy or not, you can still reject this part of yourself. So you're basically rejecting a part of yourself. It could be a big part of yourself or not, but you are rejecting this important part of yourself that is going to make you feel whole, safe, connected, in unity with yourself, in unity with your spiritual being, balance, and all of that. And therefore there's going to be an imbalance. So that's where you're going to be out of sync. And the last one, gold can pop up in your energy field when you're not taking care of the way you eat, because gold is related to the abundance of everything. Food is abundance for us, is nurturing. If you think about the fact that when we are born, then we take our food from our mothers, it's pure feminine energy, it's pure nurturing, it's pure completion of a cycle. The baby is born, it's balanced energy. So if you're someone that eats because you have to, misses bits and pieces, doesn't necessarily take care of what you eat, when you eat, how you eat, but you maybe just on the run, or you skip meals, you're just not careful, it is very much likely that gold is going to pop up in your energy field. So because food gives us high vibration, if you don't take care of this part of yourself, it's going to bring you out of sync, and it's going to keep you lower, obviously depending on the food that you're eating. So, but again, it's the embodiment and the care of your body, because the body is basically the container of our soul, and if we don't take care of our body, then also our soul suffers, and it's a cycle. Okay, so this was quick, but this is what gold is all about. And please do let me know if this resonates with you, if there is anything that you want to share with me. As usual, I'm going to be asking you 3 questions that you can use to journal about this energy and understand if you are in sync with this energy or not, and what you can do. You can use gold even if you don't have it in your energy, in your color chart, if you don't feel it's around you in your energy field. Maybe, but you might want to use it to connect to your energies so they can balance themselves. So you can ask yourself, what energy do I need to balance? You probably already know it, but you can always ask yourself. You can use gold to tune into the energy of abundance, to tune into the energy union, to tune into the energy of all the good things. If you're about to close a cycle, you can tune into the energy of gold, because that's going to help you to release what doesn't serve you from the old chapter of your life and tune into the new chapter of your life and get to this completion of one chapter that needs to be let go of. Okay, so here we are with the questions. Do you tend to be more in your masculine or feminine energy? This is really important to understand. And if you don't know what it means to be in the masculine or feminine energy, you can just check on Google and find out what it means. There are a lot of things on Pinterest, on Instagram, that you can find about what it means to be in the masculine and feminine energy, what it means to have a feminine wound, a masculine wound. If you're a man or a woman, if you identify differently, there are a lot of things that you can check on and figure out what it means, and maybe what you can do. The second question is, what does balance look like for you? Now, balance for everybody is different. Maybe for me, balance is being in harmony, being able to create on, I don't know, but maybe balance for you, it's something different. Also, because depending on the kind of life you live, if you have 3 children, maybe balance for you is just when things are quiet, you know. So see how that applies for you, but it's important to understand what's your definition of balance, so that you actually know what you need to do to create balance within you and around you. And the last question, do you believe you are abundant? If not, why? Now, we often mistake abundance with having a lot of money, having a lot of things, being able, but abundance is more of a state of being, state of mind. You can be abundant without having too much things, without having too much money. It's how you feel inside. It's what's going on around you. You might have harmony, but not necessarily have a lot of money, but be surrounded by loving people, be a loving person, be just happy as you are. So figure out what it means for you to be abundant, and do you believe you are? And if not, write that down. What do you think is missing for you to be abundant? That's going to really help you to tune into this energy and figure out a lot of things about yourself. I'm pretty sure this question is going to help you to understand so much more about yourself, but also change your perception maybe about what it means for you to be abundant. All right. As usual, I'm gonna complete this episode with a card. I'm gonna pull a card this time from the Daily Crystal Inspiration. Let's see what crystal do you need, do my audience need at the end of this episode about gold. So what's the energy that we need here? What do we need to know about this? Oh, okay. We have Jade, be the bigger person. Jade is actually green, if you can see it. Be the bigger person. I feel here it's a lot about harmony and disharmony. Oftentimes there is disharmony within us and we create disharmony around us, or there's just people around us that are in disharmony and they want to create disharmony in us, in our lives. And it's about choosing your battles, really, and understand what keeps you in balance, what keeps you in harmony, what doesn't. And sometimes that means let go of having to wanting to point out certain things to certain people, wanting to make other people understand, wanting to have the last words, or things like this, where if you think about it, yes, you're probably right, you probably, it will make sense for you to do something, to say something, but will that change your life in a way that will make you feel better, or will that just create even more um, anger, disharmony? And sometimes the less you do, the better it is. Let's say that you live with someone that is a little bit of a narcissist. They have a tendency to constantly tell you things, and if you just let them go and you just stop responding, they might stop, nagging you, uh, things like this. So see that how it applies for you, if it does. But sometimes it's about letting go, letting people say what they want to say, and really not responding, not questioning. This can be, when I often work with people, and I've been in this situation myself, where they tell me, oh, I was fine, I was happy, I was so in tune with my intuition, I was going on a roll. And then I spoke to my parents and I started questioning myself, and I started second guessing myself. Or I started arguing with them because they are not happy of the decision that I took. So those situations are the ones that you need to understand when to avoid. Is it necessary for you to share everything to everyone? Is it necessary for you to respond? Sometimes it's just easier to let it go and let people think what they want to think, because we're not able to change their mind. People that don't want to change within, they just want to tell you what to do, they will never change. So the best thing for you is to let them say whatever they want to say, to share a very minimum things so that they cannot make any comments, and just make sure that you feel good, you're good with yourself, you are in balance. Whatever else happens around you, what people say around you, it's none of your business, basically. All right, I hope this episode was helpful. If you want to get in touch with me, you can find me on Instagram at the Intuition Queen. You can find me on my website, theintuitionqueen.com, and you can see all of my offers, programs. You can book a color reading, you can book a card reading, intuitive session. So if you want to learn more about your colors, you can also join me on my Facebook group, Discover Your Three Colors. And yeah, I will see you there. I hope to see you there. I hope this season was helpful for you. If you want to tell me something, if you want to share your thoughts with me about some of the episode, about the color, I'll be very happy to hear from you. And I hope you subscribe to the newsletter so you can always know what's going on with me and be updated on my offers, on everything new that is happening in this colorful world. And where I'm gonna be. If I'm gonna be in Italy or somewhere else, you can also follow me there. All right, I thank you so much for listening to this episode, but also to listening to my podcast from when I started, from when you started to listening to it. It's been such an amazing journey. I will be back soon. In the meantime, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Ciao.